Welcome to Love on the Pod, a podcast about all the cheesy, romantic TV movies we adore. I'm Jessica.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Sherry.
And for our roundup today, we are talking about movies that feature DCOM stars. What's a DCOM, you might ask? It's a Disney Channel original movie. I just felt like a radio DJ just now. So
You sound
You're like spinning in your chair. You got your headphones on. You look like a radio
yeah, what's coming
Let's
up
take our
next?
first caller.
Smooth hits on 97.5.
This is Delilah.
Delilah, is she still around?
She is.
Yeah.
She's on a different channel now. I just heard her by chance the other day. I can't remember what channel it was.
She's nationally syndicated. She makes so much money.
Yeah, she is. She's a national treasure.
I don't know if she still lives in Port Orchard or not, but she had a farm. She had a store in downtown Port Orchard at one point, but
Really?
it wasn't at a time when I lived there, but yeah, anyways. So the radio DJ is going to tell you all about what we're talking about today. So we have each selected two movies that feature a star who also played a role in a DCOM. And we're going to talk all about it. And I'm excited. So who would like to go first today?
I can go first.
Okay, go for it.
All right. So I went a little bit different. I didn't choose someone from Disney Channel original movies. I chose actors, actresses from Disney Channel original series instead. I, for whatever reason, was finding it hard to find movies, but maybe it's because you guys grew up during DCOM movies and I did not. So I chose the 2019 Netflix movie Secret Obsession. And it is directed by Peter Sullivan, written by Craig Wenman and Peter Sullivan. It stars Mike Vogel, Dennis Haysbert, and Brenda Song, who is London Tipton of The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Wasn't there a Sweet Life movie? I think there was.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So
she
technically,
was a DCOM.
There you go.
Okay. And my second one actually is, so I did follow the instructions. I just didn't know it. Okay.
And she actually is also in The Ultimate Christmas Present, where they make it snow.
I love that movie with the weather machine.
That's right. Okay.
And that is a DCOM. So there you go.
All right. We are on track. All right. Go me. It's my unagi. I didn't know. So it was filmed in Pomona and Malibu, California. And here's a little summary. In the 2019 Netflix thriller Secret Obsession, Brenda Song plays Jennifer, a young woman who wakes up in a hospital with amnesia after a traumatic accident. Her seemingly devoted husband, Russell, Mike Vogel, takes her home to their secluded estate to recuperate. As Jennifer's memory slowly returns, she begins to question Russell's identity and intentions. She uncovers disturbing clues that suggest he might not be who he claims to be. Isolated and vulnerable, Jennifer must fight to piece together the truth and escape before it's too late. The film unfolds with Jennifer's growing suspicion and fear as she navigates a dangerous game of cat and mouse with her captor. With twists and turns at every corner, Secret Obsession keeps viewers on the edge of their seats until the very end. Not sure that's true. I had it figured out pretty quickly, but there are some jump scares and some heart-pounding moments. And did anybody watch this one?
I did.
No, thank you. That sounds scary. Hard pass for me.
What are your thoughts, Jess?
Okay, 5 minutes in, I was like, I'm in. I got it. I love this movie. I'm watching it. Here's what I think they did wrong. The title. I think the title gave the movie away.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a bad choice. So you already knew really what the end was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Just
if you
based
watch
on
the
the
trailer,
title.
if you watch the trailer, same thing. They should have edited that.
Yeah. So I love a twisty thriller. Like I love Shutter Island. I love those kinds of movies. But like Shutter Island, you would never guess what's going to happen based on the title of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is where they did it wrong. But
Yep.
aside from that, I really liked it. And that guy was creepy AF. He was so
He did
gross.
a great job being the villain. Yeah.
He's hot,
Yeah.
but also scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree. And that was some of the comments that I read was the trailer gave it away.
Mhm.
If you watched the trailer, you knew exactly how it was going to unfold. And so there wasn't that suspense. But I thought it was good. You know, it was what I expected it to be. It was like a Lifetime thriller. And
with a little
there were some
more money.
parts where she's limping, and the limp got to be a little like, okay, come on. Are you limping? Are you not limping? But I thought it would be fun to share some of the IMDb reviews.
I did the same thing today.
Did you?
Yeah.
So bad it's good. This is the Lifetime television version of Misery.
I've never seen that.
Oh, now that is an intense movie. I knew I was in trouble in the opening scene when she couldn't get her car started, but the windshield wipers still kept working.
I forgot about that.
Great movie to fall asleep to.
Oh boy.
Great comedy. And this one cracked me up because I was trying to figure out the detective. Where have I seen him? Where have I seen him? And this comment was, "Are you in good hands?" Because
yes,
he's the
it's the
Allstate
guy.
spokesperson.
Oh my gosh. Okay, now I want to watch it.
I'm considering canceling my Netflix subscription after this terrible movie and cannot wait for the sequel. Maybe then the writers will be the victims. I didn't think it was awful. I thought it was, I liked the flow of it. If I hadn't known how it was going to unfold, it would have been even better because
yes,
you would be like, wow, I didn't see that coming, but you totally saw it coming.
It does not give any inkling of that at the beginning. So you would never know.
No.
But the title, man, and then the trailer, I guess I didn't see the trailer, but
yeah.
So
The title,
having not seen it, just hearing your synopsis and reading the title, I think I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right, Jess. They should have given it a different title.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. They should have just been like, I don't know, call it something random. Windshield wipers. I don't know.
The Return of Brenda Song.
Was it Girl Who Forgot or whatever? But so yeah, that was Secret Obsession from Netflix 2019. Brenda Song. If you haven't seen it, check it out and let us know if you think it's terrible or if you think it's decent.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
I might watch it, you guys. I'm not a scary
Don't watch
movie
it with
person,
the kids.
but I might watch it.
And it's not bloody, gory, scary. It's just, it's a suspenseful thriller.
Yeah.
Well, if it gives me nightmares, I'll be calling you in the middle of the night. So
Okay. There you go.
it'll be your fault.
Then just watch The Ultimate Christmas Present and you'll be good to go.
And then I'll feel better.
So Danny, which one's your first pick?
So my first pick this week, you guys, I'm not going to lie. Both of my picks were losers. But to my credit, I did not watch them before I picked them. I was excited about the people that are in both of these movies. And then I watched them and I wasn't excited anymore. I'm very sorry that I wasted your time, but here we are. So my first pick this week is called Elevator Girl. It was released to Hallmark in 2010. The synopsis of this movie is when an elevator unexpectedly breaks down, trapping two strangers inside, they both feel an immediate connection as they fill the time getting to know one another. However, once out of the elevator, the pair goes their separate ways as one high-power executive and one job of the month free spirit. Will true love be enough to bring these two very different worlds together? This movie stars Ryan Merriman, who I was really excited about seeing. He played Jonathan McIntyre, and he was the star of Smart House in 1999, one of my absolute favorite DCOMs ever. And another one of my favorites, Luck of the Irish, which came out in 2001. So there you go. There's my age right there. Those movies were excellent, and they both were better than this dumpster fire of a movie. But
although Luck of the Irish is a crazy movie.
It's very crazy. but it was the early 2000s.
Wild.
Mhm.
I was
A
11
wild
when
ride.
it came out. Okay. So it was magical.
He's also
And-
Ian in Pretty Little Liars.
He
Oh, yeah.
is. Yes.
Mhm.
He is Ian in Pretty Little Liars. Yep. So this movie, although it was terrible, it was actually really fun to watch because it's kind of like a modern day Cinderella story-ish. The fashion and the music were all very 2010s. It was like the soundtrack kind of reminded me of like Legally Blonde. It was
Mhm.
just really fun to go on in a little time machine for a little while. And it was really cool to see that this movie was actually Lacey Chabert and Jonathan Bennett's first Hallmark movie. So that
Oh,
was
I
really
didn't know
fun
that.
because I am a big fan of both Jonathan Bennett and Lacey Chabert. So seeing their first Hallmark movie was a fun little experience.
They look so young too.
They do, yeah. And Jonathan Bennett's character in this movie is absolutely terrible.
Mhm.
So the
yeah.
whole time I was like, I like you so much. Why are you acting this way? It's awful. But then also a young Joey King plays the daughter of Lacey Chabert's character's friend. And so it was just really cool to see all these characters that I've come to know and love in a movie that was made so long ago and wasn't really the caliber I'm used to seeing with these particular
Mhm.
actors. I haven't seen Ryan Merriman in much else since this. I think he's been in a couple of TV movies since then, but I haven't seen, he hasn't become a big Hallmark star, which I kind of wish he would, because I did think his acting in this movie was pretty good. The acting was pretty good.
Yeah.
It just, there were so many musical montages, you guys. So many.
Yes, I put that in my notes too. It would have been 30 minutes shorter had we not had all the sad music montages.
Yes. I was like, what is happening? Why are we doing another montage? Can we just talk to each other? Like, what
Yeah.
in the world is happening right now?
And the dialogue is muted while the music plays, and you're like, I want to know what they're saying.
Right.
Turn off the
Yeah.
sad Sarah McLachlan ASPCA music and just let me know what they're saying.
Here's the thing, guys. I thought that was somebody did that over the movie.
No, I don't
That
think
was
so.
the actual movie.
I'm
Okay.
pretty
Yeah.
sure that was the actual movie.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
judging it a little harder now. All right.
It was
great.
pretty bad. I was like, what? Another musical montage. Their whole relationship is a musical montage. It was really, really terrible.
And when
Yeah.
when Lacey Chabert's character is looking out the window, and I think it's raining, maybe it's not raining, but she's got her coffee cup and the music is playing. It reminds me of that episode of Friends when Joey and Chandler have had a disagreement and they're looking out the window and Joey's looking at his little fountain and it's raining down.
Yes.
I couldn't take it seriously. I'm like,
Or that Hillary Duff music
say that real
video.
quick.
What is it? Metamorphosis.
oh,
She's
yeah.
staring out the
Yes.
window. Yeah. So, I wouldn't watch it again. Not my favorite Hallmark movie, but it was really fun to watch one
Yeah.
time. So there you
Yeah,
go.
I didn't like the pretentious Jonathan Bennett character. Oh, it
Mm-mm.
bothered me so much. And I know it's supposed to be kind of that Cinderella story, but I don't like it when the whole premise is, I'm this high-powered executive, whatever the job is, lawyer, architect, whatever, and you're just this lowly waitress, so you're not good enough
Yeah.
for me. And everybody buys into that whole trope, and it
It
bothers
was
me.
easy. Yeah, I didn't like
Yeah.
that either.
Yeah.
I will say that I loved his assistant. She was like the
Yes.
sweet grandma or the sweet aunt character in this movie. And she
Yes.
really
Mhm.
saw through the baloney and
Mhm.
I really liked her. She was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
when he told her, I don't even remember their names in the movie, but when he told her, I'm just worried about you. I'm like, you're not worried about her. You're worried about your own image.
Yeah.
You're worried
Exactly.
about what other people think of you. You're not worried about her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then
and he
she was
blows her
like,
up.
yeah, I need a change. I'm like, why? Why do you need to change? He's
Yeah.
being a douchebag and you
His
are
carefree
fine.
lifestyle looks pretty fun to me.
Yeah.
And then he dismisses her at this dinner party, and then he shows up with flowers, and she's so quick to forgive him. I thought, no, make him grovel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then she's catering his party and he has a date there.
Yeah.
And then after the date leaves, he asks her to stay and hang out with him as a date.
Uh-huh.
Like,
And she
what
doesn't
in
even
the
question
world
that.
is going on here?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
he didn't like her friends and she didn't like his friend. Like none of this checks out.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. No,
Not the best. Also not the worst I've seen.
not the worst. No.
So
Pretty bad.
yeah, not great. But I would like to see Jonathan Merriman in more
Mhm.
Yes, I would too.
movies.
You know who else I was thinking the other day, completely unrelated, that I would like to see in Hallmark movies?
Who?
Jimmy Gibbler.
Yeah.
I don't know what his real name is, but he's so great. And I would love to see him in some Christmas romance.
Adam something is his name. I don't remember his last name, but I want to say Adam Scott, but he is not Adam Scott. They're very different people. But yeah, he's a good actor. He's funny. He also is attractive enough to lead a Hallmark movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Adam Hagenbush.
Hagenbush. Yes.
Hagenbush. Hagenbush.
And it would be fun to see him break out of that kind of
doofy Jimmy Gibbler.
Not so
Idiot
bright
character.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So please do a Hallmark movie with Adam
Hagenbush.
Hagenbush.
I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay, so my first movie was A Deadly Dance, which was on Lifetime, and it was released fairly recently in 2019, so not too long ago. This one stars Sabrina Bryan, who is best known for her role as Dorinda in the Cheetah Girls movies, which those movies were a little after I was watching DCOMs. I think I've seen at least one of them because we have younger sisters who watched them, but
Right.
Understand?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. But this movie or these movies kind of missed my timeline. I was already too old for this stuff, right?
I'm way too mature for Cheetah Girls.
But she now hosts a DCOM rewatch podcast with Will Friedle called Magical Rewind. And that podcast is what inspired me to choose this theme for our roundup. So the synopsis of this movie is when a woman is murdered by an unknown assailant, it is left to her twin sister to pick up the pieces. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds compelling. I know. It's not, but it sounds like it is. The only location info that I could find about this movie was that it was filmed in LA. So instead of sharing any location info, I'm going to share a review that made me laugh instead. Okay. You ready for this? Awful. Just awful. I can't believe I watched this movie. Oh, actually, I can't believe I watched this move. The acting is so terrible, it hurt to keep watching. I'm an Antonio Sabato Jr. fan, so I stayed the course. He couldn't save the other actors from their terrible acting. The lead, Sabrina Bryan, was the worst one. Not believable at all.
Oh, Sabrina.
The storyline is dumb and boring, so not even that could save the bad acting. I started laughing. That's the only thing that could make it worth watching. Get your friends together, drink, and laugh. Better yet, skip it all together.
Okay.
So
it's a winner.
This person did not like this movie, apparently. Why I loved this film? I didn't. It's a pretty bad movie, but in the best way, honestly. I watched it in a coffee shop while I was working, and so it's super cheesy. The storyline is ridiculous. The acting, I agree, not great, but I would watch it again. So,
Okay.
In other words, Jessica has low standards.
For Lifetime movies, I do, yes.
I could never find that one. I found like a deadly romance, a deadly cheer coach, a deadly liaison, all these deadly things.
Deadly dance moms.
I found Deadly Dance Mom. Yeah. And that one I might have to watch. It looked interesting.
I've seen it. It has Beverly Mitchell in it.
Yes, it does.
Oh,
Yeah. And she's
So-
not the deadly dance mom.
No, she's not. So what I've discovered is that especially with Lifetime movies, people will upload them and then title them as something else. And I think that's to try to avoid the bots from taking it down.
Yeah.
And so I think that's how I discovered this movie, because it just like popped up on my screen and I watched it. And this was like a few months ago that I watched it, and then I chose it for this. So sorry you guys didn't get to watch this movie. It's not even available on Amazon. It's nowhere.
I didn't even try to find it. Typically, if it has the word deadly in it, or if it says it's Lifetime, I'm probably going to skip it.
Unless it's a Lifetime Christmas movie.
Yes, absolutely. But you guys, you keep picking these scary ones and I just can't do it.
I just like to throw in a wild card here and there. It's kind of fun.
Yes. So the one thing that I did like about this movie is that Sabrina Bryan did get to dance, which she's a dancer. So that's nice. And she's still a dance instructor for kids who want to make it in Hollywood. So that was cool. But yeah, pretty much everything else was not great. Oh, and she had a cute dog. She had a really cute dog.
Points for the dog.
It was a basset hound. It was so cute.
Oh, you can't go wrong with a basset hound.
Yeah. And at one point you think that the killer gets the dog, and then you find out that he doesn't. So
good.
Well, there is a website.
I'm definitely not going to watch it.
Yeah. There's actually a website that Hallie always checks before she watches the movie, and it's called doesthedogdie.com.
Yes.
So you can know ahead of time, and it'll tell you, the dog is injured, or the dog totally dies. You might want to skip this one.
Oh,
yeah.
That's what's that movie? Is it called A Dog's Life with Dennis Quaid?
Oh, I love that one where the dog keeps coming back in
as different dogs.
Oh, it's so good.
I've read the book. I haven't watched the movie.
I bawl.
Absolutely bawl. Like the whole movie.
Uncontrollably.
Not even just at one point or in the end. It was the whole movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But it's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Mom, what's your next one?
My second pick is Christmas Wonderland. It's a Hallmark movie from 2018. Directed by Sean Olsen, written by Jay Cipriani, Anna White, and Michael Simonera. It is starring Ryan Rotman, and my DCOM star is Emily Osment of Hannah Montana fame. So she was in the series and the movie. She plays Lily, Hannah Montana's faithful sidekick. It was filmed in Layton and Bountiful and Salt Lake City, Utah. A beautiful snowy backdrop for a film. They had this charming main street all lit up for Christmas. It was just beautiful. I loved it. And here's a little summary. Heidi, played by Emily Osment, who initially left her small town of Pleasant Valley with a dream of one day becoming a successful painter, has put her own art on hold to excel as an art gallery curator. Now, a week before the gallery's big Christmas party, she must return home to watch her niece and nephew. She comes face to face with her high school love, of course, Chris, now a teacher, who is in over his head after he must find a new last-minute location for a Christmas dance. Heidi offers to help him, and together they discover a beautiful place for the dance, perfectly capturing the Christmas spirit, called Wonderland Farms. The more time Heidi spends in Pleasant Valley decorating for the Christmas snowball, the more she finds herself inspired to start painting again. With the Christmas season fast approaching, Heidi soon becomes torn between the life she built in the city and the life she is surprisingly charmed by back in Pleasant Valley. I liked this movie. I thought it was cute. It was the normal Hallmark. She leaves the big city. She comes to her hometown. She runs into her ex-boyfriend. Tried and true scenario. What I liked about it is that she was going home to help out her sister. Her sister and her sister's husband had to go on this last minute real estate conference. It wasn't like they tragically died and she now has to take care of them. She's just helping her sister out. And I thought that was a cute little different spin. Emily Osment spent 4 months shadowing as a real art gallery or in a real art gallery to prepare for the role, which is a long time. Yeah.
That's longer than they film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I thought the interactions seemed natural. The whole town is pulling for the king and queen of the snowball to get back together again. And yeah, I thought it was cute. Did anybody watch this one?
I'm obsessed with this movie. I watched it, loved it.
I couldn't tell by
Absolutely
your face.
loved
It looked like you were going to say, I didn't like this movie.
I absolutely loved it. It was so good. I thought the acting was great. I thought the chemistry was there. The whole idea of decorating for the snowball and this beautiful farm, and you know, she's helping out her sister, and her family is so sweet. You know, her parents are really kind, and her sister and brother-in-law are just like really great people. The kids are really great. Like, just this, it was just this beautiful family Christmas happy ending movie, and it just brought me so much joy. There was only one thing that I wrote down that I did not like about this movie. And it was when she was looking through the yearbooks and looking for like pictures of kings and queens of the snowball in years past. And she pulls up the picture of her and Chris. It looks like it was taken yesterday. Like, these are not high school students.
No.
It looks like they literally took this picture yesterday. He is far too old to be at a high school dance. Like,
they should have used younger actors for the photo.
Yes, absolutely. Because
or their prom pictures and superimpose them together.
Yeah, there you go. Because I don't look the same as I did in high school now. Like, there is a difference. And that, so that part, I was like, really? Come on. Come on. Nobody's buying this. But aside from that, I absolutely loved it. I loved the man that owns Wonderland Acres. Oh, he just was so sweet and charming. And yeah, this movie gave me the warm and fuzzies. I loved it.
One funny detail that I found was Heidi's sister and brother-in-law are going to the National Association of Realtors annual conference. Now, this came out in 2018. If this was truly 2018, that conference was held in Boston. And the whole premise is that the computers are down, all flights are grounded, prompting them to rent a car to get home. And so Heidi has to stay longer, which ends up taking several days. So she has to stay in Pleasant Valley longer than she planned. But the drive from Boston to Pennsylvania is really just 6 hours. So they could have made it in one day. Small little detail that if you didn't check out on IMDb, you wouldn't have even known. But I thought that was funny.
They're like driving 1 hour a day.
Oh, this is too taxing. Stop.
You better get a hotel for the night.
Oh my
God. I
God.
did not watch this movie, but you guys have convinced me that I need to.
Oh, it's so
it's
good.
very cute.
Yes.
It's one of those snuggle up on the couch with some cocoa, and yeah, it's a feel good one. So
okay,
I would recommend that one.
Cool. All right, Danny.
Yes.
Talk about this crap hole.
This may be the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
You know what? I hope it's the right one then, because there are two with the same title, and I didn't realize that until I watched this dumpster fire. And I thought, oh, is this the one she picked? Because there is another one.
It is.
Okay.
There is. Okay. So the movie I picked for this week is Norman Rockwell Presents Coming Home for Christmas,
right one.
From 2013. There is another movie called Coming Home for Christmas that came out on Hallmark with Danica McKellar. That is not the one that I picked, although I wish it was, because anything else would have been better than this garbage hole.
Okay, but Norman Rockwell Presents? What does that have to do with this movie? He would be turning over in his grave.
I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not really sure.
Sponsored by Norman Rockwell.
Is it like, was it inspired by a painting maybe that he did? If it was, that's an insult to him. So I digress. Anyway, this movie is terrible. The end. The synopsis is: an estranged family is reunited for the holidays through the efforts of feuding sisters and the new owner of their family home. This movie stars, the reason I picked it is because it stars Amy Jo Johnson. She plays the mother of the feuding sisters. And she was Susie Q in the 1996 DCOM, Susie Q, which is one of my absolute favorites. I love that movie.
That also is
so
like
much.
a horrifically sad movie.
It is.
For a
It is.
DCOM.
It reminds me of that Pearl Jam song.
Yes.
I can't remember what it's called. Where, oh, where can
Last
my
Kiss.
baby be? Last Kiss. Yes.
Oh,
It
yeah.
reminds me of that song. It's a great movie, though.
It is.
It's really, really good.
Fantastic.
So yeah, I picked it because I was like, oh, Susie Q, this is gonna be great. Spoiler, it was not great. It also stars Britt and Carly McKillip. They play Kate and Mel, which are the feuding sisters in this movie. I actually had a hard time telling the two characters apart for the first like half of the movie because
they really
look
are sisters.
so much alike. Yeah, they're real life sisters and they look so similar that I was watching this with my daughters and Abby was like, Mom, which one is that? We could not, they look so much alike. We could not figure it out. A nice little surprise, though, is that Benjamin Hollingsworth was also in this movie, and I adore him. He played Mike, who is the new owner of their family home. He is Brady, Bad Boy Brady on Virgin River, which is one of my favorite shows. He's also been in a lot of TV movies in the recent years. He was in An Easter Bloom, Whitewater Romance. He was in the Santa Summit. So I'm happy to see him in anything, really. I really like him a lot. As far as the movie goes, it was horrible. The acting was absolutely horrendous.
Abysmal.
On everyone's
trash.
part. Just the worst.
From the opening narration, I was like, oh no, this is going to be one of those.
Benjamin Hollingsworth, I do think, did a pretty good job with his acting, but it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough to carry the film.
This movie. My notes literally are the acting is horrendous. This movie was terrible. Parents are crazy. Sisters are mean.
I wrote best part, the cute little Fiat she drove and the puppy. That's not all I can say.
I wrote this drama is so stupid and forced. I hate this movie.
So we all agree it was the best movie of the day.
Well, I was trying to pick from, why are they referencing Norman Rockwell? I did enjoy the intro visually, aside from the terrible narration. It was this picturesque snowy scene, Christmas lights, but the narration was deadpan and flat, and it ruined that. The girls singing, the a cappella singing, I thought, oh, she's really this is terrible.
They
terrible.
actually are in a band.
Yeah.
And
I looked them up on YouTube. It's better on YouTube. I suspect auto-tune, but it was terrible. And then at the end, the dad starts singing and it just went on and on and on. And it was even worse than the girls singing. And then they go, one more time. And I'm like, no
more times. I was waiting for Benjamin Hollingsworth to start singing. I was disappointed that didn't happen.
He brings out a banjo or something. It was just terrible.
Yeah,
just awful.
It was really bad. And the whole idea in the beginning, the thing that like started the whole feud was that the sisters are getting ready for Mel's wedding day, and Kate sees the groom flirting with one of the bridesmaids. And instead of going to her sister and being like, hey, this is what I just saw. How can I help you? Are you okay? What should we do? Let me help you get out of here. She just leaves. She like gets mad at her sister and leaves and doesn't say anything. They end up getting married anyway. And I just was like, what? You're a horrible human being. What are you doing?
And it sounded like she suspected that he was a terrible fiance even before that. So wouldn't you have a conversation with your sister ahead of time and voice your concerns? And then the sister can make a decision based on that. But she didn't even give her a chance. And so she just left. I mean, you guys wouldn't do that.
No. And in the beginning, when they're showing her like ugly duckling face, and they tried to make it look like she had braces, but it was like, I don't know what they put on her teeth, but it was like a mouth guard with like metal things stuck to it. It did not look like braces. It was like,
No, it
there
was
is
awful.
something really weird going on here.
They did not have a budget. It was bad.
When the whole premise of the movie kicks off, and she says that she's just met this guy, but she's perfectly willing to ask him to host her family for Christmas on their first date. It's the weirdest
Yeah.
premise
So
for a
weird.
movie. And he says yes. I'm like, you do not know these people. What
No.
are you talking
And he's
about?
living there with his like friend's kid
Yeah.
who like protect that child, please. Why are
Yeah.
you inviting
Uh-huh.
strangers into your home?
Yes.
And so the whole reason I picked this movie was because of Amy Jo Johnson. I was really excited to see her, my Susie Q, in a movie, and you guys, she was terrible. She was
Wasn't
like
good.
neurotic and
Yeah.
rude.
She looked way
and
too young to be their
selfish.
mom.
Too young to be their mom. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy person.
Wasn't she
I
a Power
didn't-
Ranger too?
Yeah. She's a pink Power
was
Ranger.
she?
Yep.
Oh. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
The
Nope.
beach montage, puke. It was the worst.
Every bit of this movie.
It was like the director was standing there and saying, "Now pick her up. Now turn her around. Now set her down." Like,
Maybe he was.
Probably. Because there was no chemistry there. It was
no.
I
Sorry,
felt like
Norman.
everyone in this movie hated each other.
Uh-huh.
Did they ever explain why their family Christmas decor would still be in the attic of this house that they sold? No.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just wondering.
I can't believe all this stuff is still here.
Like, didn't you just move out like a year ago? Like your parents
Why
didn't
wouldn't you
move
bring
out
your
that
stuff
long
with you?
What in the
Like,
world?
I can't believe it's still there either. I don't.
Let me go to my childhood home and go swing on the swings, even though someone else lives there now.
And
That's
like
weird.
mom drives by the house every day. I'm like,
That's so creepy.
what?
Nobody's
she has
calling the
mental issues.
Hey, that's a whole other movie.
And these
Yeah.
sisters, they literally hate each other. Like,
Yeah. And her sister's living in this giant mansion that's like empty.
it's empty.
Like rather
Uh-huh.
than admit that her husband left her, she's just going to keep selling their stuff. Like sell the house, you dummy. What are you doing? Ugh.
Sell the house and buy your old house back for your parents.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the only
Stupid.
positive thing I took from this movie was that Carly McKillop has the exact same birthday as me, including here.
Wow. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, not that that's really exciting because, all right. She wasn't that
My
great.
favorite part of this movie was when it was over.
When
Yeah.
you turned it off.
And I wonder if they were like, okay, Hallmark wants us to do a movie, so let's make it all about promoting our band. And
Yes. Perfect.
they just-
We'll really show them our stuff.
not
How'd
only
that
are
work
we
for
bad
you?
actors, but we're also bad singers.
But we're
Come
going
see
to
us at
pretend
our
we're
next
good
show.
at both.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, it wasn't good, guys.
Yeah, this was
So,
one of the worst ones I've seen in a long time.
yeah,
Mhm.
Bad.
for sure.
But
There were
that keeps it
multiple
fun.
times when Abby was like, "Can we turn this off?
Nope,
Can
gotta
we
take
watch
my
something
notes.
else?
You're like, no, I picked it. I gotta watch it.
I
gotta
have to
see
watch
through."
it, you guys. If I have to endure this, so do you."
All right. Shall we move on to my last
Yes,
movie?
please.
Yeah, let's wrap it
Okay.
up.
So my second movie is Campfire Christmas. It's a Hallmark movie that was released in 2022. And this one stars Corbin Bleu, who we of course know from the High School Musical series. Well, there's a series now, but he's not in that, I don't think. The series
Yeah,
of
he is.
movies.
He
Oh,
He
he
was
is?
in the series. Yeah,
Oh, okay, great. He's in
Mhm.
everything.
he's in it all.
So the premise of this movie is that romance rekindles for Peyton and her closest friends during a holiday-themed reunion, which Peyton's parents decided to host in their family-owned summer camp before selling it. Whoever wrote that sentence is a bad
Dumb.
person. It wasn't me.
I'm judging your whole life. You are a bad person.
Were you a writer on that last movie?
So bad. This is the worst run-off sentence.
You're a bad
Just
Listen.
one paragraph with no periods. Okay, Jessica's lost it at this point.
I'm gone. It's over. The silent laughter has entered the room. Okay, so this movie was filmed at Camp Imogene, which is in BC, and it's a Christian overnight camp. That looks really cool. As far as I could tell, they don't do a lot of movies there. It's not like a filming location in particular, but they did film this movie there. I just like this movie. I think it's so cute. I think it's fun. I don't really believe the chemistry between the two leads at all.
Was my main note. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love Corbin Bleu. I think he's great. I think he's cute and funny. And, the rest of the people were fine supporting characters. It's not the best movie I've ever seen, but I liked that it was a different story. I liked that it was a summertime Christmas. We love Christmas in July, so I liked that idea. And it made me wish that there was a summer camp that actually did that. So, yeah. As far as reviews go, I'm going to give you a few. Now, there weren't long reviews for this one like there were for the other one. So I'm going to just give you a couple quick little blurbs of what people have said about it. Close this camp. Another awful one. Should be the new worst in a decade. Why would you even make this movie?
Why are people so mean? Well, we were pretty mean at that last movie.
That was deserved.
Yeah.
And then a good one is a fun twist to what Hallmark is good at. So there you go. Yeah. And then, I think more people leave bad reviews than good reviews because they don't have anything else to do with their life. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen this movie? What did you think?
I have. I had seen it when it first came out, and I kind of reviewed it again this time. I thought it was fun. Corbin Bleu, he has one of those faces where you can tell what he probably looked like as a child. He's just adorable. Just a cute little squish face. I didn't see the chemistry between him and I didn't even write down the other actress's name, unfortunately.
Tori something.
I didn't see their chemistry. In fact, I watched part of their YouTube wrap up talking about the film, and I didn't see the chemistry between them there either. It was fine. They didn't seem particularly close. But I love the idea of this Christmas in July camp, and it gave me lots of ideas for our next family reunion, which is going to be a Christmas in July theme. At least I think we talked about that last time. That's what we talked about before the end. So I thought, oh yeah, those wreath races, and it looked really fun.
Cute. Yeah.
But yeah, I think a Christmas camp would be a fun escape from adulting, and I would love to do that. So yeah, it was a cute film.
Yeah, I thought this was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. I wrote in my notes, I wish I could go to this Christmas camp because it looked so fun. I loved the parents. I thought that they were just the sweetest, little people.
These little people.
Squish face. They were so sweet and kind and thoughtful, and they put so much into this camp. And I was half expecting them, in the end when they're dressed up like Santa and Mrs. Claus, I was half expecting them to actually be Santa and Mrs. Claus. Here's the magical twist.
Yeah. We're closing the camp because we're going back to the North Pole.
Yeah.
I loved the idea of all the friends reuniting at camp and kind of reliving those teenage days, which was really fun. The lead girl, she was not great.
Yeah.
There were a lot of scenes where she was supposed to be looking sad, and instead she looked angry. And there was a scene where Corbin Bleu's character was complimenting her writing, and he was talking about how he always felt like he was right there, and wherever she was writing about, he could put himself into the story, and how good she is at writing. And she looked at him and she said, "Thank you." Her words were appreciative, but the look on her face, she looked angry and scared, and it was just a very strange facial reaction in that scene, particularly. And then the other thing that I thought was weird is in the end, when she's saying that she wants to take over the camp and her parents are like, no, you don't. Like, no, I don't think you really do, which I appreciated that they weren't trying to push her into it. They recognized that this was not the thing for her. But then they told her that they had received an offer on the land and they're going to take it because the buyer is going to turn it into a destination Christmas tree farm. And I was like, what is a destination Christmas tree farm?
You got to fly in to get your tree.
How
to
are
get
you
it home?
going to get your tree home? It was what? It was so weird. It was so weird. I wish they would have just been like, we have a buyer who's going to keep the camp going, something that makes sense. But a destination Christmas tree farm, I'm sorry, Hallmark, it doesn't exist. You're weird. It's not. It's not real.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, I thought it was a cute movie. I liked the idea. I thought it was a cute idea. I liked the whole Christmas in July thing. It just, some of the acting was not it for me.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Tori Anderson, who played Peyton, has been in like 6 or 7 Hallmark movies. So I would be interested to see another one and see if it was just the chemistry here or the role or if it's her.
I will say that the actors that they chose to play their younger selves, I thought they picked them very well. I thought their acting was actually pretty good. And they did actually look like they could have been them at a younger age. So well done with that, Hallmark.
Absolutely. I agree. All righty. Mom, do you want to give us a little chat on what we're talking about next week?
I think Danny's.
Is it your turn or Danny?
Yeah, Danny.
Danny, do you want to?
Because I got nothing.
Do you want to? Okay. All right. Strike that. Reverse it. Danny, do you want to tell us about the movie we're discussing next week?
Yes. So next week we are getting ready for Thanksgiving. And so we are going to do a little throwback to 2012 and we are discussing Thanksgiving. Nope.
Love at the
We
Thanksgiving.
are discussing Love at the Thanksgiving Day Parade. I am really excited. I have not actually seen this movie. And I will say, I would like to see Hallmark come out with some more Thanksgiving themed movies. I think that would be really fun. It's something that we're lacking a little bit. But I'm excited to watch this one and chat about it with you guys next week.
Yeah, me too. So be sure to follow us on Instagram at loveonthepod and share your episode thoughts or ideas by emailing us at loveonthepod@gmail.com. Plus, you can text us with future movie recommendations using the link in our show notes. If you loved this episode and want to hear more, please subscribe to the podcast as we drop new episodes weekly. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.